Hi, I'm Peter Birch, and in this week's show we're going to talk to some local breeders about some really cool projects they're working on. Man, there's some really cool stuff we're going to see today. Welcome to CrittaCam. We're here with Dave from Reptiles, and man, this guy's got this awesome looking carpet. Man, that thing is pops. What's in it?
She's nice. She's actually a caramel hypo Bredli jag.
Wow.
So Dad was a caramel jag, bit of Darwin in it, and Mum was a hypo Bredli.
Great combination, because look at that. That thing is just absolutely amazingly awesome. The colours just pop.
Yeah, got some really nice yellows coming through, and then obviously the Bredli brings out the orange and red.
Yeah, and what's going on with the black peppering? That's sort of really weird and funky looking, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sort of got a mix. Hasn't gone around the edges of the banding. She's just really nice there. Peppered up.
What are you going to do with this? Like, what combination could you chuck into this to get it to the next level to make it a bit more outstanding, really?
It's either hypo Bredli, bring out more reds, and or go with the super caramel, and hopefully get that super colours, get them brighter, and try and get the reds. Really, you know, that's the thing.
Wow.
Get the combination.
Man, that thing is smoking hot.
And she's nice too.
Oh, yeah, she's great temperament. That's even better too.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool, man. We're here with Roger Cramer of Bluetongue Morphs, and he's got some really awesome creatures. Can you run us through some of the cool projects you're working with, Craig?
One of the projects that I'm most proud about is the world first, which is your Melanistic. It's bred between these two guys here, your Melanistic and your super hypo, producing a double het. This is the mum, double het.
Nice.
Two of those together, 1 in 16 chance of producing the patternless Melanistic.
Now that animal is pretty outstanding in its own right. What are you hoping to achieve with this animal in the next step,
this
I
is
guess?
Sort of halfway.
Yeah.
What I want to do, I've got 5 out of the 3 litters. So what I want to do is self these to each other.
Yep. And
produce a super form of this.
Man, it's going to be super exciting, isn't it?
It will. And we've got other projects going like them, the hypo onto the albino to produce your red-eyed leucistics.
Yep.
But this one's the coolest one at the moment. This one was born 2 months ago, so it's got the same vigour as the mum.
Oh, it's definitely powering. Look at that. It's got some really decent size in it already. That's pretty cool, guys. Let's see some more breeders and some other cool projects. Thanks a lot. We're here with Darren from Top End Pythons, and man, this guy's got some stunning chondros. Look at these things. Tell me more about these particular animals, Darren.
Okay, what we've got here is a male native Aussie GTP.
Yep.
We specialise in the natives.
Yep.
We sort of got them from likes of Michael Cermak and some lesser known people down here in Sydney.
Yep.
So our main push is for the natives. We're sort of branching off now and doing a few more of the BAC type, just to get us throw a few more colours in.
Yeah, definitely.
People are after that sort of thing now, you know, brighter colours.
Oh yeah. I mean, look at the contrast between the two animals. Like you said, there's a native and there's a BAC, and the colours themselves. Like you can see the vertebral striping on the native, which is a typical thing, and then the mixed patterns and colours in this locality animal is absolutely stunning.
Yeah, we're working with them and the sarongs as well to get the greens with the blue in it and mixing things around to get give people a range of colours.
And I guess as a breeder, we sometimes we get lost in where we're heading. We're too busy about producing something right here and now. What are you hoping to achieve in probably the next year or two with these sort of projects?
At the moment we've got what we think is the only blue male GTP in Australia.
Wow.
We haven't seen another one around. So we're hoping to mix him with maybe some sarongs or high blue, highlights on some of the BACs to bring that blue line into Australia. 'Cause I have seen blues overseas, obviously in America and that, where they're working on that line, but it hasn't really hit here. So hopefully over the next, it's going to take a fair few seasons to prove it out. And
I mean, you guys have been breeding chondros for a few years now, and I mean, these things are absolutely stunning. Not only just looking at it like that, but being here right in front of it, this animal is really stunning. Those yellows and the greens, the contrast is just amazing. And I mean, you almost got sort of, bluish colours in there as well.
Yeah, we've got a few siblings of this one here. One is totally green, almost like an Aussie, but it's got a full blue line down it and blue around. And they're brother and sister. The change in colour just in 2 siblings is absolutely amazing.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty awesome. We're here with Jason with some absolutely amazing carpet pythons. Talk to us about these particular 2 projects you're working with, Jace.
Well, Peter, this is the Sunglow project which I've got going. The caramel gene is a codominant mutation. When mixed with the albino gene, you get this amazing red colour coming through here. It's just fading in, as you can see in the bandings there.
Yeah, I mean those colours are really, like you say, those oranges are really popping right out compared to the normal albino.
And then because it's a codominant mutation, you get a super form. So this here is what we call a super caramel albino.
That's a mouthful, isn't it?
That is a mouthful.
But it is a spectacular animal, I mean.
But as you can see, it's a lot lighter than the simple Sunglow. But you can see that purple and that lilac coming through.
I was about to say, you probably can't see that, but there's some lilacs and lavender colours popping in there too. That's pretty...
and the yellows are going green on that as well.
Yeah, that's pretty...
So this is where I think, mostly where I want to be heading, is in every mutation, is trying to get a super caramel in every mutation, as in the jags, the zebras, and so on.
So you're just going to mix it right up, basically?
Just get it in there, see what the colours come through. I think the jag may even bring some more colours through with the super caramels.
Man, that's pretty exciting. Let's check out this other guy's cool stuff as well. How lucky we are today. We got to catch up with Joe Ball, one of Australia's leading Bluetongue breeders. And I believe you got some new and exciting news.
Yeah, we've got a couple of cool critters here, which are an Australia first. We've got a snow. So this is the first white albino that's ever been made in Australia. So that's a snow Bluetongue. And then secondly, we've got this real interesting fella here. So what this guy is, this is a hyper-melanistic albino. So what it is an albino that has been paired with this beautiful black animal that Pete's holding here, and then the resultant offspring's paired to make this guy. So it is in effect an albino which also displays the traits of the black guy.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the creations that are coming from these combinations, I mean, it's mind-boggling. Look at these, first of their kind.
For a lizard nerd like me, it's just sensational.
For a snake guy, I tell you what, man, I'm getting pretty excited. Oh, man, definitely.
Yeah. There's some excitement right there for sure.
I can't wait to see where you're going to go from
where
here.
It's going to go from there, yeah.
It's awesome. Let's go and check out some other cool stuff. We're lucky enough to get a bit of time with Marty from Snake Ranch to talk about some awesome projects these guys are working with. Marty, you guys are really leading the way when it comes to some really cool critters. Can you talk to us about some of these awesome things you're working with?
Yeah, cool. I don't know really where to start. We'll start with probably the albino. Obviously, everyone knows those. So, you know, albino spotted python. Been around the hobby for a while now.
Yep.
Obviously started with John Weibel back when he was involved in Snake Ranch, and simple recessive mutation.
Yep.
Plenty of contrast and variation amongst the clutches you have with any sort of natural variance among the spotted. So, you know, awesome morph and awesome combination potential with any other blondes, melanistics, you know, xanthics, all that type of stuff. You know, future combinations with granites as well, I guess.
I mean, as we're talking with Antaresia, you know, you can see why they're going to be such a favourable animal.
Yeah, of course.
Not only, you know, to most people, but especially to people in suburbia, you know, where they've got smaller houses, smaller enclosures.
Yeah.
And these guys have got, you know, the same needs but smaller, which makes them more attractive.
Absolutely.
And especially with these cool looking animals, you know, the different paint jobs, I guess most people call it. But the way the colours and the patterns are coming through these days, you know, it's some really exceptional stuff.
It's funny you actually ask that, because we have people come up to us today and they're saying, oh, what species is that? And what species is that? And what species is that? And you wouldn't realise up until recently they were all the same species.
That's right.
So, you know, you look at these 4 snakes we've got in front of us here and the variation is enormous, but they're all very, very similarly related, I guess.
That's right. I mean, at one point in time, these all animals were all classified as children.
Absolutely.
But now, you know, a bit of genetic work and some taxonomy, and now we're saying, okay, let's split them up. But look at the colours in some of these animals.
So the next one, I guess, we'll talk about is the marble children eye. What was called by the Holy Grail by Simon Stone when he first got these morphs into the hobby.
And you can see why. I mean, the variability within the colours and the amount of black that comes through these things, you know, is making them very attractive.
I mean, you talk about variability in a clutch, you can't get much more than the marbles. Like, you've got, you know, animals that have got incredible amounts of, you know, sooty ash all over their back, and then you get some that are almost patternless. So, you know, these are a really, really exciting morph, and especially when you couple this up with the T-positive children eye as well.
combinations are endless, really.
That's exactly right. So yeah, you would expect if you could try and work it out that you would think that the black would go to almost like a mauvey hue.
That's what you would hope, really.
An orange background with still the nice light. Superficially patternless animal, awesome snake. So
let's see where it goes with that one. That's pretty cool.
The next one that I'm personally really excited about is the caramel albino stimmies. Again, simple recessive, works just like any other albino gene. Small amount of taurinase goes through.
Yep.
You get those beautiful caramels, beautiful mauves and lavenders that you get in some of the children eye, but you get that lovely Stimson eye pattern. So
definitely. I mean, with the children's T positives, we know that most of the time the pattern sort of drains out a bit.
Yeah.
But with the Stimson, it's holding that pattern, making it, I guess, more attractive than most. Really making those blotches pop, and the colour variability amongst there is pretty outstanding too.
We get that's a comparison. So we've got a children eye there, and we've got a Stimson eye there.
Yep.
So
yeah, look at that straight away.
Same gene, same morph.
Two different species.
Two different species. It's just the variation there between those two. You wouldn't think that they were even remotely related.
No.
So
if you've seen that, you would definitely say they're not related, but
no.
I mean, that's pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
And I guess really the holy grail of the whole hobby is this animal right here. I guess myself, like many others, are absolutely drooling over this particular animal.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting.
I can't wait to see where it's going to go with these guys, It's going to be really, really exciting to see what you guys create with these. I mean, I was speaking with Wayne earlier, and he had a bit of an insight of some of the different things that he was throwing around, and different multiple genetic
combos,
sort of combinations and all sorts of stuff chucking together.
Well, the whole theme of what we've been speaking about this afternoon has all been about the variability of animals within a clutch, within a genus, within a group, the whole Anterasia group. Piebald personifies variation.
Oh, definitely.
It's a random mix of colour, white. It's as if someone's in some instances just tipped their tail in white paint. In other instances, they've just tipped the whole body in white paint. So you couple that up with being able to manipulate colour with the T positive gene, being able to manipulate it with introducing things like giraffe line wheat belts and stuff like that. It becomes really exciting. But the morph on itself, by itself, is obviously...
Like you said with the variability, most people don't really give credit to the polygenic variation within a certain gene pool as well.
Oh, no way. That's exactly right. Like we've had pieds pop out, that are superficially white animals, more so than this. Yep. Completely, white. A little tiny Phantom of the Opera mask, in dark, blotching over the eye. Black eyes, red iris, as close to as leucistic as you would hope. And then, but that within the morph, there's potential that it could have a superficially brown snake with the tiniest little band of white across it. So, it's just an exciting time for the hobby. Yourself, the ball python, how big that is overseas. That's what we're trying to replicate.
Exploded that market.
Yeah.
And this here is it's like the ball python of Australia, really, the Anterasia.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
I might be biased, but I really like
we both get that excited about it. How
you're
an Anterasia breeder, I'm an Anterasia breeder. You know what it's like. So
I love the things.
Yeah, it's just what we do, it's what we love, and it's probably easy to see why, except when they try to escape.
Yeah, well, getting away there in the corner without you noticing. You have to admit, those breeders are doing some absolutely amazing work with their cool projects, and I can't wait to see what they've got in store in the next 5 to 10 years. Leave a comment below, hit us up on Facebook and Twitter. Until next time, you've been watching CrittaCam.